works. I've decided to return because, of course, it's the Chessable Master. So we've got Nakamura and Magnus Carlsen playing. So we're going to be discussing a couple of ideas. Let me check with the restream if things are in order. If things are in order, and we're gonna make a very informal chat about their games. So let me check if things are fine. I mean, I didn't plan on doing this, but actually I think that's quite cool because Magnus and Nakamura play. Sound is okay. Let me just very quickly double check some. Yeah, should be fine here. It should be fine. Let me go back quickly. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to be discussing their games, guys. And okay, so I'm going to get a cup of tea a bit later. All right, let's do it then together. All right. I've toggled off the evaluation lines and the feedback. I'm going to put them on every now and then. So I just want to discuss all the ideas I can possibly see, and maybe you can communicate and tell me your own thoughts about this. I hope I will be getting the messages here in case there is anyone joining. Let me open up the Restream chat feature. Restream chat, okay. So I should be able to see it. Okay, cool. Right. So what have we gotten here? White played g3 to making sure this guy is going to be defended probably against any bishops and stuff. Wow. White king can't be castled. I guess Magnus played the lone castling. Black king looks quite safe-ish. The problem, I think, the bishop on b2 here, it's quite menacing. This is quite threatening. Wow, what a move. Okay, he wants to open up all the possible lines. I think I like black pieces activity here a bit more. Wow. So I assume if white were to take, the bishop were to take. And actually, you're going to open up the whole column for the black rook, hitting directly the white king. Dude, this is tough. This is really tough here. Just minimize this. So guys, feel free to drop me any ideas and things about these moves. Let me double check one more time here. OBS, okay, fine. Should I? Okay, let me just slightly, just ignore me, guys. We're going to be discussing the moves together. We're going to be discussing the moves now, and you can communicate your thoughts. Just let me operate just a bit more. Yeah, so this is it. I'm not seeing, again, I'm not seeing the evaluation bar, but, you know, I'm going to put it on as soon as we want to get some confirmations with the almighty engine. Okay, yeah, okay, just leave it. I'm just gonna drop it as it is. This one, okay, it won't matter now. Okay, let me go back. Right. So Nakamura now needs to take a decision. So, as we said previously, if the white pawn take, then the bishop is going to take, and that would be actually quite a bad choice, because then the black rook will be attacking the king. Now, so he decided to play it. He decided to play it. Okay. This guy is seriously under threat now. I mean, it's being attacked twice. I don't think you can do too much about it. It's so unfortunate to having the white king on the same D column with the black rook. And even if you go to the left, there are so many bad things. I mean, just look at his bishop. In principle, if this guy were to moving down and open up the diagonal here, I don't like it. Also, the rook a8 to c8, I don't like that either. So it doesn't look very promising for white. Really doesn't look very promising for white here. It doesn't. I don't want to have white pieces here. I absolutely don't want to have the white pieces here. I don't want to. I don't like the white king's position. Right on the d file. Again, this guy's gonna fall, and if knight's gonna take, it's more pain for white here, because that knight hits the bishop, practically the only active piece of white's. It hits the white knight, and the black rook is there. I mean, this is awful. I don't want to have this with white. I don't want to have this with white. I don't. Black king is very safe. So if you want to compare the white king and the black king is absolutely fine. So probably this is the counter attack, the counter move that Nakamura just played now. Pawn over to e5, attacking this knight with tempo. So he thinks, look, I'm going to have to hit something because Magnus is going to crush me. Right, now where does this guy need to move? I don't know. I mean, look at this. In principle, I mean, you could play this, then maybe, I don't know, sacking the rook and then giving some forks and things. Is that workable? By the way, I don't see any engine lines because I toggled them off. I think I should be making my picture smaller so you guys can actually having the proof of this. So, I mean, I'm just discussing the stuff I'm normally seeing. And you're more than welcome, guys, because I'm not playing. You're more than welcome to actually voice your own opinions on this magnificent game. I didn't plan to coming back, but because it's Magnus Carlsen playing Nakamura, I said, bloody hell, I gotta do it. You know, it's we gotta do it, discuss it together, doing it together. Yeah, exactly as I have mentioned earlier. You want to get the rooks. You want to get the rooks a8 to c8, and this one. So that's gonna be a nightmare for white. I don't know how could Nakamura survive this. I don't know. Beautiful, very, very, very very aggressive stuff here, and just brilliant, brilliant by Magnus. Of course, number one on the planet. You couldn't expect less, but Nakamura is also incredibly strong. So they played a Carol Khan defense with knight f3 d5 variation, and this is what it is. I don't know exactly how did the white king manage to move, because you're not supposed to have the white king on the d file with the black rook attacking. It's a desperate attempt here now. Look, I mean, I absolutely don't like the white pieces. I don't know if you like it. I don't want to have this ever, ever, ever. I don't want to have this ever. This is just... Jesus Christ, what's that? I mean, it's just purely defensive purposes. With that bishop being moved on d4, probably he wants to. I don't know. I mean, at some point, if black might be pushing the g, opening up this bishop too. Now, the question is, where do you move this knight? Now, if you want to make the rook very active, you got to move the knight, the black knight on d7 somewhere. So I reckon, I don't know, is b6 playable? I mean, black should afford the luxury of playing b6 because you're opening up stuff and the king is not here. Black king is on g8, so you don't have a problem. You don't need to worry extensively about giving a pawn. I don't know what you guys think about this one. Let me see. Let me check the messages thingy with the restreamer. Where is it, man? Where is that? I don't want to miss messages from you guys in case you're dropping any thoughts. In case you're dropping any thoughts. Well, I think that's okay for the time being. Right, cool. So I don't know if b6 is going to be played. Again, I don't see the evaluation, the lines, or the feedback. I toggle them off. I want to be able to just think it through. Exactly. Bingo. Yes, b6. That's exactly my first thought when I've seen the position. I'm happy I managed to play at least one move like Carlsen. I mean, you know, of course I don't play like Magnus Carlsen, but if I manage to at least one move anticipate, I'm very happy. Absolutely. Okay. So now I want to think for both colors. But then again, I wouldn't want to have the white pieces here. Not at all. It's oh my god, I can't even breathe here. You can't have this with whites. Jesus. Jeez, I mean, look at this bishop. This bishop's so strong. This bishop's so strong. As soon as g5, it's good. As soon as g5 challenges the f4, oh my god, and look at the rooks. Look at the rooks. It looks very good for black here. It looks very, very good. Namely, Magnus Carlsen here in this game. It looks very good. So, it's Magnus's turn. What is he going to play? Is he going to do something with this marginal knights? Just wonder. Okay, I think I need to make my picture less because I don't want you guys to think I'm getting any sort of ideas from, because the lines have been toggled off now. Okay, let me maybe try with this one. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, cool. That's better. So where do I put it? Should I put it up here? Okay, I'm gonna just leave it there for the time being. Cool stuff. Okay, so now, okay, so that's, you're gonna see exactly what I'm seeing. Okay, this is it, fellas. No inspiration. We're gonna think on our own. We're gonna be on our own. We're not gonna put the engine here. We're just gonna have to think. Okay, bishop f5. Bishop f5. Okay, so he traded off that knight on b6. He attacks on b6. Do we need to worry about our pawn? Let me think. If I, you know, we just need to ask ourselves, it psychologically works. What would I do if I were Magnus Carlsen? What would I play? Okay, so the pawn on b6 is being targeted now. Is there something super strong black might play? What about this? Okay, so candidate moves, guys. If you want to drop me messages with the candidate moves, let's see who gets it right. What about knight to c4? That would be 1. What about g5? So these are interesting ideas. I don't think I should be worrying. I don't think black needs to excessively, well, you don't want to give pieces, but anyway. Now, knight c4 would have provisionally protect the pawn and challenging this guy. And actually you want to make the knight on d2 go away because your rook will be hitting the king directly. So a move like knight to c4 protects the pawn on b6 for 1. Secondly, attacks the knight on d2. And if that knight goes away, the black rook will actually be one step closer to striking the white king. So that is my thoughts on this, guys. I don't know what your thoughts are, but that's what I'm thinking. Have I got that? Okay, let me check that restream thingy. Did I close it again? My God, how do I close those tabs? I don't know. Anyway, won't matter. So guys, my suggestion would be here for black to play knight to c4. That's what I personally think. Obviously, I'm not Magnus Carlsen, so the guy will be playing the best move. But I think that looks to me like the most promising one. Yeah, okay, it comes with an idea. Knight c4, knight takes, rook takes, then if this guy moves, the bishop will be hitting the rook. But I don't think black needs to worry excessively because this is incredibly dangerous. You're just moving then. I mean, there is no move the knight can play so that you can't defend your discovered attack upon the rook on c4. So I guess that might be an interesting take. Not mentioning then maybe knight f3, a3 in the future, or this one. I mean, knight c4, it's such a potent, aggressive attacking move because of the a3, because of the trading off the knight that blocks the black rook, because of the potential e3. You've got so many good stuff after knight c4. So, to my understanding, that's... Yes! The second... Okay, bloody hell, let me write it down. That was the second move I managed to play like the Magnus Carlsen, the king yet. So, I got 2 moves correctly, and I'm happy about this one. Because obviously I'm not Magnus Carlsen, but if I manage to anticipate some of the moves, I'm more than thrilled. Alright, so that's the position. Guys, let's... Okay, you can type in if you wanna communicate the stuff that you think the guys will be playing. Put it down. It won't matter if we get it wrong. As long as we manage to think and improve ourselves, who the hell cares? That's awesome. Okay, who's... Oh, Nakamura's turn. Okay. Okay, bishop... Yeah, right. Okay, so this bishop didn't do nothing. So you wanna get your stuff out. But this guy's hanging. This is critical. Bloody hell, just take the pawn, man, right? Hold on a second. Okay, Magnus's turn. Magnus doesn't have any problem here. Just take the pawn. And then you're going to play this. And then I think Nakamura's going to cry. So, rook takes a2, followed by rook a1. Yeah, okay. The knight can't even move because it's pinned. Oh my God. I mean, after rook a2, I think white should resign, right? Okay, so my next suggestion, guys, would be rook captures a2. What do you think, guys? Am I seeing ghosts or am I being accurate in my assessment here? Oh, that's an old one. Yeah, I don't think I need it. Okay. So, guys, I am suggesting rook a2. You can write down your own suggestion. I'm on the restream. Guys, I think I am able to read your messages. That would be rude on my part not to reply. I think I had on Twitch and I didn't reply on time on a previous stream. So, and not because out of disrespect, it's because I didn't see the messages. So I open up a tab now with restream and hopefully I'm able to see what this mark is playing. Sorry guys, I must have missed something previously. What's the reason behind the e6? Why didn't he take on e2, man? Okay, let me put the lines and go back a move. Right, my suggestion, rook a2, is being given by the engine as the second line of thinking. e6 is stronger, and Magnus played it. I didn't play like Magnus, but I played like an engine on the second line of movement. I think I'm happy with that. If I am Stockfish line number 2, that would be awesome. And if I was able to play like this all the game, I would have a way better stats. But then again, I think when you are a dispassionate witness, when you're not emotionally engaged, you are able to see a whole damn deal of things here. But when you personally play and are involved, you're missing due to the time pressure or stuff. So we are at king to d2 now. Okay. Whose turn is now? Magnus. 4 minutes, Magnus. 4 minutes. Right. Are we going to take that pawn or not today? We're going to take that pawn or not? What are we waiting for? Rook 2 and then the other rook. I think that's pretty good. Guys. So my plan... What? Okay, he played the check. So the king again. So we can take now on e2 and then we're going to play rook a1. Oh my god, that's it, right? Well, you can't take a2, or can you? You can't take it because this guy's dropping. So you got to do something with the bishop. I don't know, bishop c3 first. Oh my god, this is so... I mean, Magnus should be winning here. Yeah, the third move. So I got the first... Okay, bishop c3 I got two previous moves. So bishop c3, I got it right. The third move I'm anticipating correctly by Magnus being played. Well, I had another attempt, but it was the Stockfish second line of thinking. So I missed it. I have missed it. Anyway, bishop c3 is safe now, and now you can take an... That's it. That's it. What should white do? There is no good move here. There is no good move here for white. What can white do? This kind of things, trying to attack the bishop. What other thing? Rook here. You can't defend the pawn. What, this? I'm looking at attacking moves, but this one, yeah. Oh my god, this is painful. He wants to defend a2. Oh man, Magnus deserves to win this position. But anyway, mind you guys, this is still an extra pawn for white here on the queen side, and this one too. What Magnus have extra is pieces activity. His rooks are active, his bishops are some monsters. Nakamura's rook on h1 is very passive, and this bishop doesn't do nothing, and this knight is under constant attack here. So let me put now the evaluation bar, which says it's perfectly equal, but from a human point of view, we're going to get now in time crisis, and you know, folks tend to be playing not so great moves. I think Nakamura plays very nicely and he manages to hold up here. That's a brilliant game, guys. Brilliant spectacle delivered by these two super players. So where did they play? Whoa, what did I miss? Rook b3, cd, bd4, rook b3. Okay. Oh my god, it watered down. The attack that Magnus had, it's watering down as we speak. I mean, That might be one card he might be playing. But yeah, because the bishop, the rook can't drop on b2 to defend. Okay, so he attacks the g3 with the bishop and pushes this guy forward. Why? He's gonna take, right? I mean, you could take with what? Either rook? You could take with either rook and the king goes nicely, safely here. I don't think you got nothing. And this g3 is hanging. Again, I think the eval bar gives black now a good chunk. Let me see. Not? What the hell is the counter game here? I mean, g3 is hanging. Well, not quite hanging because it's the rook. Okay, okay. But this guy can be taken, right? I mean, the d4 pawn. The d4 pawn can be taken. All right. Okay. So he took, yeah, exactly. He took with the rook on d8. I thought that's either rook can take. Either rook can take that. Okay. Super, super, super nice. Very nice game here. Very nice game. Okay. Are they going to play another rounds? Game 1 of 2. Yes, of course. They're going to have another one. So I do have time to go get a cup of tea. That might be improving my visionary skills to probing in the future of other super players here. Okay, so rook takes. Now, the problem with Magnus looks like the time. Time is a freaking nightmare. 1 minute 19. Naka has on 3 minutes something. Naka's doing very well also on Blitz and Bullets. He is an absolute beast here. So he's thriving. Okay, I think White, if White manages to keep trading off the pieces, I don't know how exactly. If White manages to trading off the pieces, yeah, I should have suggested that earlier. Because that would have been the fourth move anticipated. I was just about to say Rook H to D1. Well, next time. So if White manages to trade off the rooks, this guy is very, very, very dangerous. This pawn is incredibly dangerous. That's the actual ticket. This is the ticket for White to win. This guy. Other than that would be a draw. Other than that, I don't think that favors Black. I think he played it now because he lacks time. You don't want to trade here because White is having one extra pawn. Am I wrong if I'm saying I think White is doing better here now? Still equal. Still equal. Very, 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 very equal. Yeah. Oh, they drew. Oh, man, but this pawn is free. Naka, man, you could have just pushed it a bit more. I guess. Yeah, okay. Draw, but you know, because you're playing another human, why the hell not? You know, just try and... Well, okay. The bishop would have stayed... Yeah, and plus, this guy is sort of hanging. Okay, but that's... Okay, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Bishop takes, then you gotta think about how to protect these one. It's a mess, E1. They probably should have kept playing, but hey, if they agreed on a draw, fine. Okay. Very cool one. Very cool one. Alrighty, okay. So, I hope... Now, why... View on my channel, fine. But why don't they just... display the comments here if there is any comment? I should be able to see it there, right? So, I think I have time now to go for a cup of tea. And if you guys join me, yeah, you can drop me a couple of comments and so... Okay, so I am going to do a cup of tea and I will be returning because that was game 1 out of 2. So another rapid is coming and I want to do some predictions and see if we are able to probe in the future moves. Okay, we'll be back with a nice cup of tea. Okay, so we're back now. Have they started? Not just yet. Let me see. Let me reload. No, they haven't started yet. Not yet. Are they going to play? That was game 1 of 2. They should be.
Does not care
playing, right?
usually, but I think he.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I can see a message now. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Liliana. Thank you. Okay. So now waiting for the second match in between Carlson. Carlson gonna have the whites. Nakamura will be playing with the black pieces. So fabulous. And I managed to anticipate like 4 moves. Well, I've started in the second part of the game. I wasn't from the very beginning. But with the second match now, I'll try and make as many predictions as possible, guys. And actually, you can throw in your own suggestions, and let's see if we manage to play like these guys. Okay, cool. So messages do appear. Thank you very much for the kind thoughts and for the kind ideas. It's been very, very kind of you. Right, so they're about to start. Let me see if I mean to get from the very beginning, right? Because I want to be discussing with... Oh, they haven't started yet. Yeah, I want to be discussing all the moves without any engine suggestions and stuff. Have they started? Yes. So let me go now to the games. Ah, there we go. Okay, guys, I hope you're ready. Fasten the seatbelts. We're going to make anticipation throughout the game. Oh, Nakamura's having a tea. Very nice one. I got a tea as well. Okay. Cool stuff here. Okay. What is Magnus gonna play? D4, nice. Let's see. Let's see how it pans out. 4. Okay. Ooh, would it be nice if they play the Budapest? Okay. That was fast. They playing quite fast. Bishop D2 now. Okay. Now candidate moves are knight C6. D5. Well, I don't know what line. Yes, C5. A3. Okay, so that's the opening. Yes, and the knight on E4 slightly frustrates the bishop, but knight on E2 jumped just in time to replace it. So if there's any knight taking, the other white knight will take it back straight away. I don't think Nakamura is going to take on C3 though. I don't think he's going to take on C3 because that helps white with tempo and helps white to develop the bishop on F1. So for this reason, I don't think black will be taken on C3, but instead they will be investigating maybe D5 to make it more fiery. What do you think, guys? Okay, my anticipation now, if you... Okay, so he played B6. Okay, he didn't play D5, he played B6 because that one is really, really, really threatening. D5 played by Magnus now. Okay. What is black going to play? What's Nakamura going to do here? He's going to play bishop b7. What? He's going to do what? Queen to c7. Queen to e7. What's he going to do? Rook e8. Rook e8. It's never a bad idea to get the rook on e. Do you know what I'm a bit taken aback here. I mean, white's king position on e1. I don't think I like it very, 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 very much. On the other hand, if you castle on the king's side, can you think the prospect of having the black bishop on b7 attacking along this diagonal? So that's a little bit scary. I think if I if I was white here, if I was Magnus here, I would be slightly concerned. But how do you deal with that? What do you do? Should you play Queen C2 just for the? I mean, is that a good move for Magnus here? Queen C2. So let me open up the restream chat again. Oh yeah, if I could, I would. If I could, I would. So Queen C2. I don't know what to do with white because the white king is not ideally probably staying on the E. Black is castled, so that's the good stuff about playing the Nimzo Indian with black here. You quickly developed on the king side pieces, and you get your king castled, and now you just, the only concern for black is just to think how to attack better. Now white needs to spend a couple of tempos to decide what the hell to do with the king on E1. How do you tackle this? How do you play it? How do you play it? What do you think, guys? Is Queen C2 a reasonable approach here, you reckon, guys? Queen C2, I wonder. Magnus takes his time. Now, Queen C2, apart from attacking the knight, also supports the bishop not to having double pawns when you want to move the other knight to free up the bishop. So in principle, I think Queen C2 might be a sensible choice here. So my prediction is Queen C2 here. What's that? It's move number 10 for white to play. Let me write it down. Queen C2. If I had whites here, I would seriously consider this. What other stuff? I don't think F3 is considerable here. I don't think knight G3. Or if you want to go fully crazy berserk with something like H4, is that even... I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. You got to do something like, I mean, Queen C2 and maybe, I don't know, castle long. This knight is quite problematic, you know. So Queen C2 and then knight G3. Is that a good plan, people? What do you think? Queen C, in principle, Queen C2, then knight G3. That playable? I don't know. If it is, or if you have another idea, guys, do tell me if you feel like to. Oops, wait a second. Yeah, that's what you gotta see, guys. Have I turned off the other tab again? I mean, I'm able to do that. I mean, the restream chat was actually here. Did it disappear or something? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I said H4. I said H4. I did say H4. Well, I would have played Queen C2, but actually I did mention H4, and I said it's quite a violent stuff. I did say H4, and I'm very happy Magnus actually considered the same thought. The difference between me and Magnus Carlsen is that Magnus Carlsen actually acted on it. So in his superior evaluation, he actually saw the benefit of pushing H4. It did cross my mind, and I did voice it without pressing the engine lines or anything. So again, I'm happy I manage every now and then. I'm happy every now and then I'm able to see through the fog and actually getting to touch the peaks of this guy's thoughts. The peaks or the depths, so to speak, you know. Depends how you want to look at it. Yeah, the peaks or the depths. Maybe they're the same. Maybe they're the same. Very nice one, mister. H4. Yes, I did mention it. Move number 10, H4. I mentioned it briefly because there's something risky, adventurous that comes with this move, guys. When you do H4 here and your king is on on the E file, and now look, Naka actually opens up the whole damn thing, all the things. Okay, it will take a little bit for black here to figure out a way, I don't know, to figure out a way to getting things, but okay, quite aggressive. I think I like it. Very aggressive. Magnus' style. Very nice. Very nice. Now this bishop is quite annoying and might be making Nakamura to trade his knight. and Carson will take with the knight, thus enabling the bishop to become a bit more active, probably on d3. I don't know. So Carson here plays for a win. He wants to win. I mean, that's the right attitude anyway. Of course you want to win. Awesome stuff. Right, so I did see h4. Okay. Now, what is Carson going to do next? Castle long. Now, if you do so, no, you can't do castle long for Christ's sake. F2 is hanging. So you okay. He didn't do castle long, but actually, what I wanted to say is that I would love to have the rook on d1. What does rook d1 mean? That means you can't play the bishop. So if you wonder, my chess friends, what the heck is with rook d1 played by Magnus Carlsen? Rook a to d1 means you can't do nothing with the bishop because d7 going to be captured. So you can't do that. So Nakamura is slightly delayed in acting with this bishop. He's got to think of something else. He's got to think of something else. I don't know. I don't know what just yet. But he's got to figure out another way. Very nicely. So Magnus plays with the king uncastled yet. And he pushed h4. Is he going to stay the whole game with the king on e1? I don't know. I don't know. Does Nakamura want to trade the queens? Huh. I'm not sure. What he wants to do? What does he want to do? I'm not sure. I don't know what he wants to do with the queen on e7. I mean, what does he have with the queen on d7 and didn't have when the queen was on d8? I mean, what's the deal with e7 and they didn't have... I mean, you got the same diagonal, right? I don't know. Still yet to think. Does he want to do something with this knight? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, if the queen was on d8, you couldn't have played knight over to e5 because white would have taken it. White attacks it twice. Well, actually, you could have. h5 now being played. Magnus is consistent with his initial plan. The h-pawn actually wants to seriously challenge this pawn structure defending the black king. I mean, this is brutal the way it should be. So now he wants to go h6. He absolutely wants to go h6. Yes, nice one. Oh man, the cup of tea is so awesome. Oh yeah, you got to stop that pawn. h6. Defensive prophylactic move. You must stop that pawn from advancing. You can't allow them to go h6 and screwing up your g7 and pawn structure defending the black king. So Nakamura played an h6 move, needing to desperately stopping the pawn from advancing. Now I don't know if you're crazy enough to go like this. No, you can't do this now. Not at this stage. You got to do something else. Again, I don't know what Magnus plans to do with the bishop on f1. Or how he thinks about developing, or if the king's going to stay here, or is he going to consider a rook lift? No, that's too crazy because of the discover attack. It's hanging crazy. A lot of tactics. This is a nice one. Very nice game. So the reason I decided to come back and continue the stream is because precisely Magnus Carlsen plays Nakamura. So that's too nice to miss. I don't have everyday opportunity and the time to actually commenting live on this guy's game. It's absolutely very, very brilliant. Magnus still thinking, because now, as I said, you can't just keep forever the bishop on f1. Black's gonna come all over you. You gotta do something. And, you know, if you play the knight, the black knight's gonna take, and you're gonna have such a bad pawn position. And this is bad. It's very, very difficult to defend. So, I don't know how Magnus plans on dealing with this. You can't do f3 because that's painful to watch. I don't know If the knight goes, the black knight takes on c3. If, I mean, what? What do you want to move? The bishop wants to stay there. Queen drops back. Again, I think Magnus decided to play the queen back on d3 because he wants to play with the knight somewhere. And in case the black knight takes, queen's gonna take. So that's the sole reason, I guess. Other than that, the queen was great at the minute, staying here and, you know, sort of pinning the black knight on c6. So queen to d3, frankly, wants to allow the white knight on e2 to go somewhere. And probably bang and bang. That looks nice. I would love to have the white knight on d5. So that would be via f4 and d5. Targeting c7, attacking the queen. I think this is absolutely doable. Absolutely doable here. Okay. Well, that bishop had to be developed at some point. I wonder if a6 would have been a choice. I mean, you never know. That's quite vulnerable. I mean, you may want to take advantage of that. I don't know, probably coupled up with knight a5 and bishop a6 attacking this guy here. That's a bit scary. Okay. Now Magnus has the freedom to play the knight on e2. Where? I don't know. Is knight f4? Knight f4 is my prediction. Knight f4, because I don't see any other good square with that knight. Plus, if you don't play the knight on e2, the bishop on f1 can't move anywhere. So you can't play like this. You can't have your pieces on the back rank. You need those pieces to do something. So I don't think knight g3. That's disaster. The black knight is going to take. Pawn is going to take. This guy's going to fall. Disaster. You lose the game with white. Oh, knight g3 loses the game for white. Knight f4. What? Okay, the d7 pawn. Okay. Took the d7 pawn. Oh my God. Jesus. Jesus, what a slaughter. What a slaughter. Jesus Christ, they moved. Okay. 3 minor pieces of Magnus's against 2 black rooks and 2 minor pieces of Nakamura. This guy's under attack. Now, if you play the knight somewhere, probably the bishop would just naturally defend. Is that to be considered by Magnus? Let's find out. But it's quite an intense. There was a sequence of moves. They played it so fast. I couldn't assess it in time. Now, I don't know. But this c4 has to be defended. Okay. I think I like black pieces now more than white pieces because this bishop on b7 now. It's awesome. That means you won't be very easily in deploying the bishop on f1 somewhere because this guy is sort of exposed. The knight is also a wild card here. The knight can do stuff. I mean, a way what? Could be b3? Okay. I don't know, but this guy's gonna be weak. And you gotta be careful with the dark squares. I think more natural would be a knight being played on f4 or something. Well, I said it before and that wasn't the choice. Now Magnus is on 5 minutes, Nakamura. Yeah, knight f4. Okay, so knight f4 I've been heralding knight f4 for some, like, I mean, that was the only move I had on my first line of thinking. If you could see my thinking, like the stockfish is up lines over there. Although obviously I'm totally below ages. Stockfish. Yeah, knight f4 was the most natural move ever, and I was proposing this move for ages. Knight to f4. There's nothing else, you know. Now white defends c4 with the bishop. There is probably yeah, you gotta play it. I still don't know if this bishop wants to come out because this guy, I mean, how do you kick the knight away? Because this knight also defends g2, allowing the bishop to move. So even if, I mean, probably this knight wants to go here, where? Wants to go here, wants to go here. All sorts of ideas. But for the time being, the white knight on f4 can't be kicked away by any pawn. So you can't do this because of the en passant. Because of the en passant, that's a disaster. Nakamura's not going to play this. I mean, even at my level, I know, at my level compared with this top elite players, I know that black's not going to play any g5. You can't do this. So the white knight on f4 sits very well where they are at the minute. And I think white can contemplate playing the bishop somewhere. I don't know where. How probably these are the candidate moves. At the minute, c4 is on the bishop's protection. Should be okay. Revert pieces to normal. What do you say? Revert pieces to normal. I mean, oh, because of the arrows. Or you are saying? Sorry, I didn't get the idea. I toggled off all the lines here, so the pieces are exactly live as they happen. But maybe that's an old message that I didn't catch on time. So, Nemanja, thanks for being here. Right. Yeah, if you want to elaborate and tell me how do I revert pieces to normal. Oh, you're talking about the pieces. I mean, normal. We can debate what normal is. I just want a very good contrast in between the squares and the pieces themselves, and I kind of like this this type of the pieces. No worries, we can change them at any moment. But for the time being, I want to focus on the position here. Right, so the knight played. What does that mean? That means that the bishop on b7 now is seriously hitting there. That means another thing. That means the knight on d6 now attacks on c4 together with the rook. So we got two pieces. Therefore, the bishop on f1 is no longer enough to protect the pawn. Therefore, Magnus will have to play b3. I'm sorry, I don't see anything else. You got to play b3, right? Well, Magnus is a genius compared to my thinking, but I think b3 would be probably my first choice here. I don't think he's got an option. You don't have options here. After knight d6, white's going to have to play b3. To my understanding. Nemanja, if you want to give me your thoughts on the next move Magnus might be playing, you're welcome. What do you think white's going to play? If you give me the correct result, I'll be considering switching the pieces to a different format to accommodate your aesthetic needs. I'll be sacrificing my aesthetic needs for my viewers' aesthetic needs. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, let's focus on the game because that's super important. So, fellas, thanks for being here. I think I got like a few viewers now, which is a huge progress compared to the fact I'm having one viewer normally. Now I'm getting, because of these guys actually, because Magnus plays Nakamura. Okay, so I don't know why Magnus spends so much time here. I mean, to my average understanding, the b3 is the natural move to protect c4, right? Then you might be having other lines of investigating. The king, again, from the very beginning, Magnus had the king on e1, and this is the black rook always there. And there is another thing, guys. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. The black knight not just wants to hit the c4, the black knight wants to play on f5. And the problem is they want to take the bishop for free, my chess friends, because if knight takes, you can't take the knight because the rook hits the king. Nightmare. An absolute nightmare. So Magnus spends so much time, he's on 2 minutes on the clock, because Magnus has got an issue. Not just defending c4, forget about the c4. The problem is this, what are you going to do after knight f5? f3, exactly, I wanted to say that, but hey. Of course, I mean, post-factum I could say anything. f3 is a move that pains him. It pains Magnus, because now black took on c4, not just took on c4, but threatening b2, forcing another pieces trading. Now we got a very nasty check here. Boy, I don't like whites here now. I don't like the white pieces. I don't want to play with the white pieces here. It's something painful here. The problem is this bishop, major headache for white. The problem is the checks. The problem is probably after rook battery and trading of the rooks, I just don't like it. Plus, not mentioning Magnus is on 2 minutes 26. Look at this, exactly as I said. So, okay, that's another anticipation. I was lucky. Check. Okay. So these are the only pieces that really protect the king. This bishop is paramount for Magnus's defenses. This bishop holds up the pawn, supports the b2. This bishop must stay where they are. I guess Magnus needs to contrive some knight dancing, I don't know, this kind of ideas. But Magnus runs low on time. He's getting low on time. That's a problem. What is this a4 doing? Okay, he wants to push a5, and maybe if they take, they're going to take. But that's another painful thing. I don't know if you afford the luxury to moving the bishop to take on a7 because you allow the other rook to come down. I mean, in principle, I don't know if you want to allow the black rook to coming down the second rank. My evaluation, that's what I think. White bishop out made the 641. Thanks for your thought, Nemanja. White bishop. Thanks for your thought, buddy. White bishop. Right, so I think now this a4 was a bit of a... I mean, you can't be so creative. There is nothing fabulous about a4. There's not... I mean, you don't have too many options, man. It's painful. You just... I mean, why can you play with white? You're a little bit in a zugzwang. You gotta move this guy somewhere, I reckon. You gotta move the rook from h1 somewhere. Where? That's a big question. Where you want to move it? How? What do you want to achieve? The black rook on c2 covers completely the c. You can't activate your rook. You can't go nowhere with your rook. The problem is rook here will be subjected to possible potential bishop diagonal attack. Where you going to go with the rook? Maybe a1. Nemanja, here's an idea. Probably a4 wants to say, dude, I'm going to get the rook over to a and support some pawn's advancement. What do you think about this, Nemanja? Do you think that might be the case? You think that maybe man, I'm happy. Bingo. I've just found the idea, the reason behind Magnus playing a4. That was it. The rook was completely stuck in a freaking corner. You can't do nothing with the rook. You got to move the rook, make it more active. But as I said previously, the two black rooks will be making a battery, and they would like to kind of trade your stuff. If you move the rook up, you're going to be subjected potentially, well, not as long as the knight is here, but probably. Nakamura wants to trade off the rooks, obviously. He wants to trade off the rooks. Do I want to have white pieces here? Not really. I'm not fully convinced. Let me ask the almighty Stockfish 15 or whatever version they've got available on chess.com. Dude, these guys are monsters, man. I mean, they really play at the highest level. I mean, my chess friends, these guys don't really do mistakes. I mean, we blunder. We do Festival of Blunders every single game, almost. But these guys play so accurately. That is why I decided to come back and do the live stream commenting on these guys, because I admire them so much that I thought, look, man, that's an opportunity. We gotta gather around. Yes, Nemanja, that's true. Yeah, I've read your message now. Rook a1, exactly. What is Nakamura gonna do? Now, to say something, if they go with the black rook on c1, that doesn't mean white needs to accept the trade. If you accept the trade, you're gonna empower Nakamura very much. So you're not gonna trade. I reckon Magnus gonna play rook lift, some a2 or a3. I don't think Magnus gonna trade, because if you trade, you're actually getting screwed. Then Black's gonna boast a full rook and an incredibly dangerous bishop, and I think they're gonna do you in whatever way they want to. So he didn't. Okay, now I understand Magnus's plan from the minute they play rook a1. So I got this one correctly. So now they keep trading stuff here. Okay, whose turn is it? Magnus's turn. What a brilliant jewel of a game. Right, in case you didn't just as an idea, guys, I don't think bishop wants to go on c3 because this guy is going to be sort of hanging. Or, what does they want to do? What does he want to do here? He wants to play rook c3? Does Magnus want to do rook c3 Nemanja? What do you think? Oh yeah, I totally agree, dude. I mean, these guys are geniuses of chess, so uh, my total admiration for these monsters. I'm watching them in huge delight and admiration, and their game is absolutely a source of inspiration for us chess consumers. Oh, they drew the second game. They drew the first game, and now they drew the second game. They drew them. Oh man, is there going to be another match? Sorry, I need to double check the format. Nemanja, is there going to be another match? I gotta double check the format here. Game 2 of 2, I don't think so. Yeah, rightfully so. This is a very difficult ending. I don't know who's going forwards, who qualifies if that stays as a draw. There gonna be any other games? I don't think so, right? Games Nakamura, Carlsen, Drew. Okay, I need to double check the format and understand if they're gonna do any other clashes today. But this is such a delicate position, Nemanja. So I think it's too. They consider it's just too risky to force the position. White's qualities here. I mean, this bishop on d4 is incredibly strong. You're not going to touch this bishop unless you want to sack an exchange. You're not going to touch the bishop on d4, Nemanja, unless you give the black rook, any of the two black rooks. And probably an idea might have been to make a battery, give an exchange, and also take the pawn. Maybe. But you're not going to touch otherwise that bishop. The knight on f4 could become very, very dangerous because of this jumps. You know, I mean, this kind of e5 probably. Then c4, all sorts of things might happen here. The white rook is free to move. The knight is free to move. So potentially Magnus boasts a knight and the rook here in this position. He can move whatever he wants to play with those pieces. Nakamura, he's got to be very careful. He's got the c file and he's got this diagonal. And he's got to be careful all the time about e6. He's got to keep the bishop here all the time. You see, so I think rightfully so. Let me ask the almighty engine. Rightfully so, this one is a dead draw. Yeah, unless you want to force it, but it becomes incredibly risky in the money. So probably for this reason. Yeah. Okay, so they're going to play any other game? I don't think so. They're going to play any other... Do they? Let me check. I gotta go back and let me check if there's any other possible match today. Carlsen Nakamura. Man, this is so funny. Carlsen Nakamura losers.
Very young at the time would say like, well, you know, everybody around me acted like it was normal, so I didn't say anything.
Okay, I love this one. Carlsen Nakamura losers. Eh? They're probably the best on the planet. Well, amongst the best on the planet, anyways. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be another match. If it's going to be another match, probably I'm going to be returning Nemanja and Will, or I don't know who's on the other side. So no, it's not. You don't have to be that surprised because it's very difficult for Black Nemanja to actually get an advantage. Let's go back a bit to the position here. I'm happy you find the comments useful because otherwise means I'm not talking to the walls, which is awesome. So if you focus on this
Check
one,
out
let
the eval
me
graph.
just shut off this thing. Okay, so if you're still there, Nemanja, I think you're still there. Yeah, okay, cool, buddy. So it's very difficult for Nakamura here to take any form of advantage. You can't operate any tradings. The bishop can't take the knight. The knight is incredibly versatile. And it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. So with black, you can't force tradings unless you want to sack exchanges and give some rook for a bishop, which I don't think you really want to do. And the rook is very mobile, the knight is very mobile, and the bishop blocks everything here. So there is no play for black. You can't make real progress here. You can't push the pawn on a6 because it's constantly targeted by the white rook. So you can't really push that guy down the board. And the bishop can no longer create any other threats in combination with any other black piece because it's not. I mean, maybe some ideas with the... But how do you break through the f3? How do you dismantle the f3? I don't think you can, really. And if you start something super adventurous, like pushing the pawn on the king side, you're going to lose. Black's going to lose, I mean. If black pushes the pawns here, I mean, this is very dangerous. That's exactly what protects the king. You don't want to do that. White king is very nice and safe. So it's a draw, totally. Absolutely brilliant. You're welcome, my friend. If you want to follow me on Twitch, that's awesome. They will be notifying you when I'm going live. And also, if you want to have a look on my YouTube channel, I've got some videos over there. And I'm more than happy to be discussing the ideas together, Nemanja. It's my friend. It's my pleasure, my friends. Cheers, bud. Okay, so I don't think they're going to play now, right? They're going to do any more games? I don't think so. I think those guys may commenting now. The presenters, they'll be making like a full analysis of the games now. But yeah, but if Magnus and Nakamura don't play any longer, probably okay. Chesil Magnus winner takes on Hikaru for the grand final seat. Magnus versus is Magnus playing Aronian? I don't think so, man. Do they play? Wait. I mean, it's not clear if they're still gonna play. If there's gonna be any other matches today. If they do, Nemanja, I'll be returning, and you're more than welcome, and I'm happy to be discussing with my friends here. I'm tired of talking with the walls, so if I got any sort of feedback discussing the ideas, I'm more than happy to sharing and learning together with you. Yeah. All right, bud. So I don't think they will be playing any other match. If it's to happen, Nemanja, I'll be returning, and yeah, we'll take it from there, bud. And when I'm streaming next time, if you want to play a friendly game, we can do a friendly game together or something like that. See you, bud. Have a wonderful, wonderful remainder of the day. See you, buddy. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Alright, guys. I'm going to pause it for the time being. If you want to listen to the wonderful comments by these experts in their field, as they are, Mr. Canty over there, and Hess, and I think is it Howell as well, the Grandmaster Howell, David Howell. So if you want to listen to their super comments, you should be doing that too. I would be doing it, but I don't want to talk by myself, which is okay. Maybe I'll be discussing with them at some point. Okay, cool stuff. Right, guys, I'll be pausing it now. And yeah, we'll be back with the next live when they will be playing more games. Cheers.